ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, verse number 25. So, yesterday we read how Krishna was dealing with the cowherd community and with his friends who were all he himself. He will go home, come back, play, go back, and everybody was in bliss. The cows were having more affection than before, and also the gopis. So we did not read the commentary of this verse. So it says, Kincha gavam gopinam asmin Shri Yashoda Nandane Krishne Matrita Sarva Upalalanaadi Maya Sarvaiva Matri Bhava ityartha. So he says that Gavam means of the cows and Gopinam of the gopis. There was Matrita. So Matrita means the feeling of being the mother, motherhood, Matritva. So Sarva Uplalanadimaya Sarve Matribhava. So what does it mean? Matrita or motherhood means this feeling or mood or affection of having Krishna as their son, means their own sons, but now it is more intense. Purvat Purvadeva Asit Kintu Snehardhika Snehadhikyam Vina. But because they were already mothers to these boys, and the boys are still looking the same boys, so there is no change as far as the sense of being mother is concerned. So what is different is the intensity of love. So therefore he says that Kintu snehardhika snehadhikam vina purvam Sridama Sudamadibhya Svaputrebhya api sakashat Yashoda putre Sri Krishna snehardhi rasit. So the mother feeling of motherhood was as before, but the love was more in Krishna than as it was in their own children who were before Krishna became these children. So Yashoda putra Sri Krishna snehardhi tasyaiva puravat purvadeva asit kintu snehardhika snehadhikam vina purvam Sri Damadi bhyasva putrebhya api sakashat Yashoda putra Sri Krishna snehardhi rasit tasyaiva saputri bhutatva jati tada svaputreshu api tathaiva snehardhi Yashoda putra svaputra chatulyeva sneha bhutati artha. So this verse is little difficult to understand. That's why he is explaining it. If you read the verse, it says that Go Gopinam Matrita Asmin Asit. That part is very simple. That cows and gopis, they had the sense of motherhood in him. Asmin means in Krishna. But Snehardhikam Vina. If you see the verse, it looks like he's saying that, but there was no extra affection or love. And we are saying that they had more love. So what does it mean that there was no extra affection, but when they had the Matrita? So what he is saying is that when Krishna was not these boys, when Krishna did not become these boys, and the boys were the boys, who were the actual children of the gopis. So then also these gopis had the sense of motherhood towards their children, which is natural. But their love for Krishna was more than in their own children. Okay? Before Krishna manifested as Srudam, Sridam, Madhumangal, all these, at that time the love of the gopis in Krishna was more than their love for their own children. Now Krishna himself has become their children. So now they are saying that now the love in the children is not more. So why it is not more? Because now they have the same love which they had for Krishna in their own children. Which means it is more than what they had in their own children. So they are saying that now they are having the sense of motherhood towards this Krishna, but the love is not more in him. Means the love which they had for Krishna as Krishna, now they have the same love towards these children who seems to be their own children, but it is Krishna. So therefore this love is same, but this love is more than the love for their own children, because earlier they had more love for Krishna than over their own children. That is the meaning of this. Otherwise it looks like that the verse is saying that they had motherhood but the love is not more. So this is what it means. So therefore it says Tatha Yashoda putre swaputre cha tulya eva sneha abhut ityartha. So what is the meaning? The meaning is that now their love towards their own children is same as their love towards Krishna. Previously, love towards Krishna was more than their own children. Now, their children is also Krishna. So they have the same love towards their own children as they have towards Krishna. So that is the meaning of Snehardhikamana. Otherwise it's difficult. So Puravad Asu api Hares Tokta Maya Vina. So now how is Krishna's feeling? That is being explained. So Asu Gogopishu Harerapi Tokta Balbhava Purvadeva Asit Kintu Maya Upcharene Eva Putra Tulyatvat Putratvam Asit Brahma Mohana Dinam Arabhyatu Krishneva Sridam Sudamadi Rupas Tasam Putra Bhut Iti Krishnasya Putra Bhavo Yathartha Evityartha. So now he says that Krishna also had the feeling that he is the child of them, but this is without any Maya. So what does the Maya here means? Maya here means without any sense of secondary meaning. Previously also he considered them like mother, but at that time he did not consider them as their real mother, because his real mother is Yashoda, and he treated them like mothers. But now he is not treating them like mothers, but as mothers only. So that is the meaning of Maya Vina. That now his feeling towards them as mother is not in the secondary sense, but in just like you say, oh Mataji, like out of respect he calls, like. So that meaning of the word Mataji there is secondary. It's not in the primary sense. Primary sense, Mataji is from whom the person is born, but we are calling some other lady also as Mataji out of respect. So there the word Mataji is secondary, in secondary sense. So like Bhagavan is Krishna, but somewhere we see Bhagavan Vyas, Bhagavan Shuka. So they are also called Bhagavan, but there Bhagavan does not have its primary meaning. So similarly, earlier also he had Bal Bhav towards them, the sense of being their child, but that was with Maya, means in the secondary sense. Now he is actually their child. So that is what the sloka means. So Brahma Mohana Dinam Arabhyatu Krishna eva Sridama Sudamadi Rupas Tasam Putra Abhut Iti Krishnasya Putra Bhavo Yatharthe. So now the Putra Bhav, or the feeling of being the son of these gopis, is real. It is not that, okay, I am son of Yashoda and they are also like my mother. Not like that. That is the meaning. So natu Shri Damadeshu tan matrinam yavan snehas tavan eva putri bhute krishnepi bhavitum arathi yavat शील गुणाभिधा कृति वयो यावद विहारादिकम iti purvokte. So now one question is being raised here, that earlier in the sloka it was said that he was behaving with them as per their own children, where he says that whatever is their feeling, whatever is their mood, whatever is their, yavat shil gunadhi abhidha kriti vayo yavad viharadikam, verse number 19. Because Krishna became exactly like the son, and when he became exactly like the son, Then he was exactly like the sun, the way the sun walked, the way sun talked, the mood of the sun, everything. So then mother should also be same. Why is that mother is having more love now when actually the son is exactly the same? As far as seeing the character, behavior, appearance, age, or all other idiosyncrasies of the son, there is no change. So then the mother should also have the same kind of love, affection, reciprocation as before. Why they are having more? This is the question being raised. What is the change which has happened from mother's point of view? From Krishna's point of view, we can understand that now Krishna has become the son. So therefore he is directly the son and being treating them just like mother, or like mother, or as the mother, not even like, but as the mother. But why the mother is now changing? What is the reason for that? That has to be also explained. So he says, Uchyate, he says, this is replied here. Krishna hi Mahamaheshwaratvat Swadhinikrit Brahmadi Swansha Paryanto api Premna Khalu Adhina eva. So he says that Krishna is not only Ishvara, he is not Maha-Ishvara, he is Maha-Maha-Ishvara. Means he is not just supreme regulator, controller, Ishvara. He is not Maheshwara, because sometimes Shiva is called Maheshwara. But he is Maha-Maha-Ishvara. He is the topmost Ishvara. There is nobody above him. Everything is under his control. Even this Brahman is only his part. So he says, Swadhini Krit Brahmadi Swans Paryantopi. And Brahma, Shiva, all these Amsas, they are all under his control. So Ishvara means controller. Means who has the authority, the power to regulate, to control others. That is called Ishvara. So he is the ultimate. There is nothing above him. There is nobody who can control him. But he says that there is one thing which controls him also, and that is prema. So therefore he says that Swadhini Krita Brahmadi Swans Paryanto api Premna Khalu Adhina eva. So although he is Maha Maheshwara, but he is under the control of prema. And prema is not under his control. It's not that he controls the prema. Prema tu na tasya adhina iti premani tasya prabhutva bhavat. So his lordship, his authority, his ishwaratva, his controlling power is not over prema. He can throw his majesty on anyone, but not on prema. So prema is the only thing which sits on his head and make him dance and do all these things. That's why he became all these children and calves, walking on four legs and becoming the lunch box and the stick and everything. So this is the power of the prema, that the supreme Satchidananda, he becomes like a stick and sits in one corner. This is amazing power of the prema. This is only because of the prema of the gopis, because gopis wanted him as son, so he has to comply. He cannot say no. He does not have the power to defy their wish. So that is the meaning, that he is under the control of prema. So therefore the most powerful thing is not God, Bhagavan, Ishvara, this, that. Most powerful thing is love. There is nothing above that. Even in the material world also. If you love somebody, then you sacrifice everything for that person. People give up their own life for the sake of love. Although one's own life is most dear, you protect it at any cost. But you can give up that also for love. There is only one thing which is powerful than anything else. So basically the real power is in love. All other powers are fake. That is the meaning.
This prem is in seventh case, right? Prem में उनके उनका प्रभुत्व नहीं है. प्रभुत्व का अभाव.
So tena prema sankuchit kartum ashakyah. Therefore it is not possible for him to diminish the love. This is amazing thing. So what he is saying is that these gopis, they loved Krishna more than their own sons. Right? Now Krishna becomes their son. So technically speaking, their love should diminish now. Isn't it? But he does not have the power to diminish it. So therefore the love now is same as it was in Krishna. That's what it means. He could not make it as it was in their own sons.
So it's the love that he is feeling.
That's a good question.
So is it the love that he is feeling from them? That
No, they mothers are feeling for him.
no, mothers were feeling for Krishna, that was constant. That was from before they had
But
the
now
same.
that Krishna becomes their child,
Right,
so mothers should love this Krishna as a child as they were loving their own child,
right,
which is less than Krishna's love.
correct.
But now they are loving more. So Krishna should diminish their love.
No, but we said they were not loving more, they were same because their love for Krishna was already higher than.
Yeah, but that less loving same means it is more than their own children or not?
Right,
That's what is the question.
Right.
Why should they love their own children more than before when the children is same? In their mind it is the same child. They don't know this is Krishna.
so Maharaji, sorry, but I thought they are not loving more, they were already loving Krishna more than their children. Now that Krishna has manifested as the boy, their love staying the same, but Krishna cannot lower that even though he is coming in
Yeah,
as
but you
their
did
child.
not understand the question which was raised. The
Okay.
question was, why are they loving their children now as they love Krishna?
Okay, yes,
Previously they loved Krishna more than their own children.
yes.
Now they are loving their sons also same as they love Krishna. Why? That means it is more than before or not?
Yes, yes.
So why you are saying it's not more?
Okay, sorry, Maharaji, yeah. I misunderstood.
So the question being asked is that why is that it is same and why Krishna could not diminish their love and also his love? So he is saying that it is not possible for him because he is controlled by love himself. He doesn't have authority over love. He has authority over everybody else including Brahma. We will see Brahma will come dancing in front of him. But he is dancing in front of love. That is what is being described.
Maharaj, what about the love for actual Krishna at this time?
Same as they love their children. That's what he's saying.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Quick question about this. So, can the Purva Paksha relate this that the love for Krishna seems to be independent from his rupa?
Independent of his?
So Krishna's form, his form,
Yeah.
because he has a certain form, he plays the flute, he wears the peacock feather, looks a certain way. But
Yeah.
it seems that the mothers are loving him the same, even if he has a totally different form. He looks different, wears different clothes,
Yeah.
acts differently.
Yes.
It almost seems that his form is sort of an upadhi, and they're loving something else in him rather than some form. How would one respond to that?
Form is an upadhi? Upadhi of what?
Yeah, because that's what I was asking. His form as Krishna, it should be loved more because the form also carries Krishna's form is Sachidanand. So on one side is Krishna having his eternal form, of Tribhang Lalit, and on one side is Krishna taking the form of the Sakhas. So obviously the form of Krishna should be more attractive of the form of Krishna in the form of Sakhas. So why is that the same? I think this is what he's asking.
So is this what you are asking, Tanmay?
Yes, Babaji. So the Advaitavadi, so somebody could argue that this form is an upadhi and what the gopis love is something different or extra.
So what do they love?
Brahma, I don't know, such a condensed Brahman.
Brahman you cannot love. They will also not say that. Because in case of Brahman there is no love, he is only one. That they will agree. You cannot love Brahman, that is for
Isn't that
sure.
what this is?
One thing is for sure, you cannot love Brahman. What is that?
Madhusudan Saraswati is saying that when there is love, that is just from the Brahman in condensed form, in Akar.
Yeah, but the love is for Akar, not for Brahman. He cannot say
Okay,
that.
but then anyway, so that's my question. My question is why, how do we explain this?
Yeah, the explanation is coming, just wait. You people are very impatient. थोड़ा धैर्य भी रखा करो यार.
बाबाजी महाराज
हाँ.
So my question here comes to the mind is that this love is direct, like their heart had externally they were.
Okay, first think of your question clearly, and then you can speak.
Then I have thought of my question.
Okay, just speak the question. Just speak the question. Don't tell me this question is coming in the mind. This that. Just state the question. Everybody knows question comes in the mind only. So just say the question.
Question is.
One thing I want to teach is how to ask question. I get very frustrated from these emails writing to me, and these people, they don't know how to ask questions. And then I say, okay, what is your question? Then they come up another vague thing, So one should be very clear what is your question. And don't go here and there, This is what we are learning. What we are wasting so much time learning Nyaya, this, that. What is the meaning of Nyaya? Learning Nyaya, Tark Sangra, and we are going to study Nyaya Sutras next. That you state your words clearly and explicitly, without any ambiguity and without any fluff.
Don't beat around the
unnecessarily. So just say your question. What is the question?
Externally, they were seeing that it is their own son, and not Krishna. And they were seeing Krishna also in Braja, as they were seeing before their sons as well as Krishna. But now the love they had for their sons was just the same they had for Krishna. So in this love which they had, was that a connect directly from the heart which just bypassed all these external things?
Yes, so the Siddhanta which will be established is this, that when you have love for Krishna, this love for Krishna is so powerful that even if Krishna is not Krishna, means he is not appearing as Krishna, still love is there. So there is a principle that Vastu Shakti Jnanam Napekshate, that the power of the Vastu means the Prameya, the Prameya, Pramana, Pramata and Prama. So Prameya means the object. So object is so powerful that it is not dependent whether you have knowledge or not knowledge, like fire. Or if you take some powerful medicine and you don't know this is medicine, it will still have the effect. So the Krishna Prema is so powerful that even if you don't know Krishna as Krishna, still it will manifest as Krishna Prema. That is the supremacy of Krishna Prema. That's what is being depicted here. That although Krishna is hidden as Subal or as Sridama or as somebody else, still the Krishna prema is manifest as it is manifest towards Krishna. So this also comes that sometimes Krishna hides when he goes to meet Radharani. Right? You heard those stories more than me because you are all Rasikas, right? So then as soon as Radharani touches, then she faints. Right? He was selling these bangles and dressed as a lady. In the olden days, ladies used to go around on their head with a basket selling. That's how we saw in our childhood. So all the ladies come, the Radharani also invites. And then as soon as he touches Radharani's hand, then he faints. And of course Radharani also. Which one faints? I think Radharani faints. And then because it is Krishna who is touching her. Although he is not manifest as Krishna. And she does not know that this is Krishna, but just as soon as he touches her, she faints. And then everybody is running here and there. Then he says, no, I know one mantra. And I can revive her, but you please everybody go out. And then he sends everyone out and they say, look, here I am. So that's how they meet. So this point also comes in Ujjwal Nilmani. Rupa Goswami makes this point that even if Krishna is hidden and not known as Krishna, if you have love for him, then it will manifest. So that is what is being described here.
Maharaji. Go ahead. Please. Okay. Actually, then I'll ask first. Maharaji, for love to exist, there has to be a lover and a loved. So there has to be two people in the loving relationship. So here, because the mothers were loving Krishna more than their actual children from before, so now the love is feeling the same for them. From their perspective, it is the same because they are still loving Krishna, and Krishna has taken that form. So he is feeling that love. On the receiving end, he is feeling that as more. Is that the way to see it?
No, he's not feeling more. He's feeling the way he was feeling as Krishna.
Okay.
That's the point is being made here.
Okay, that is constant. The love for Krishna is always constant. Okay.
I mean, love is always increasing, but the love which they have this is what he said, that love which they are having towards Krishna, they are having the same love towards their children.
Okay.
Previously, they are having more love for Krishna than their own children. It is increasing all the time. But now, today, on 25th May, the love they have for Krishna and love for their own son who is Krishna is same.
Okay.
Tomorrow it will be 10% extra. We don't know.
Thank you, Maharaj. Anupam.
Maharaj, regarding that Siddhant, that Vastu Shakti will have its effect in when Krishna is present in his own form. So regarding that pastime when Krishna manifests as four-handed Narayana form, and the Vraj Gopikas, they say that, have you seen Krishna? They're not attracted to that form. So how do we understand that in the light of the Siddhant, what you just mentioned? Because if the Vastu Shakti would still have its effect, they should also feel attracted to the form of...
So now are they dealing with their sons as Krishna or as their sons?
They're dealing with their sons as their sons.
Yeah. So therefore now when he is manifest with four hands, they are going to deal with him as four-handed one or as two-handed one?
They will deal with him as what is Prakat, as four-handed one.
But they are looking for two-handed one. So otherwise there is no point. Then he can be anything. They are looking for two-handed Krishna. And now here he comes as four-handed. So they are not into that. In their house, Krishna is also in the form of stick and lunch box. So you will say, well, they should also love that. That's your Purupaksha, right?
Yes, sort of. At least in the visible.
So why should not they love the stick also as Krishna now? because the stick is Krishna.
Yeah, theoretically it should be there.
Yeah, but you are not understanding the point, You are just making Purupaksha. Try to understand what is being described here. Their love is for Krishna.
Krishna means in the form of not
The person Krishna.
the person Krishna.
So now when he becomes the stick, although it is Krishna, but he is not manifest as Krishna. He is not manifesting that power of Krishna in that. When he becomes four-handed Narayana, his power is diminished there. So you cannot say that you can have same love for 400 and 200. But in these Subal, Dubal and all
Sridham.
Bal, he is manifest as Krishna only. Because they wanted Krishna as the child. It is Krishna who has taken that form as Krishna. Krishna is appearing as Subal, Krishna is appearing as Sudama, Sridama, Madhumangala. He is also appearing as stick, but that he is not appearing as stick to have a relationship with them. So अतएव स्वामी चरणैरपि उक्तम एतावत् वैषम्यम कृष्णेनापि दुर्निवारम इति. So therefore Sridhar Swami has also said that this type of Vaishamya or this difference in behavior is not possible even for Krishna to remove. So even Sridhar Swami has acknowledged this fact that their love is more now than it was before to their own children, and Krishna cannot do anything about it. Such a prema vatsalyadi rupas tan matradishu virajate iti Krishna swamatradi samipe swasharyam ananusandhano adhino bhutayeva sadatishthati yatha maharaja chakravartinah samipe mandaleshwara iti. So this prema which is being described in the form of vatsalya, it exists in their mothers, matradishu, and these gopis. And therefore Krishna in their vicinity cannot manifest his Aishwarya. So Swashwaryam ananusandhano adhino bhuteva sadatishthati. Therefore he always exists or deals with them like their son only. Now actually their son, before them like son. When they had, gopis had their actual children, then Krishna was dealing with them like as if they are mothers or on the level of the mother, and now they are actually the mothers. So he cannot manifest their Aishwarya in front of them. Why? Because of the prema. The power of the prema is so supreme. This is especially Vraj prema, not outside. This is the characteristic of Vraj prema. So yatha Maharaj Chakravartina Samipe Mandaleshwara iti. Just like if there is an emperor and under the emperor there are kings, so they go to the king and remain subservient to the emperor. Like that he remains under their control. Yes.
My question was, what exactly is the Aishwarya? What Aishwarya could he have manufactured, in the sense this point of Aishwarya is brought because he became their children out of love and they wanted Krishna as a child. So what is the Aishwarya part here?
What is the Aishwarya? If you become President of India and you go to mother, your mother may start respecting you as President of India, and you may also act like that. You are the President of India. But just like Modi goes to his mother, he is not acting like Prime Minister of India. He is being just like the son, and she is feeding her sweet, he is sitting and eating that. So that is the prema. So he is Maheshwara, he is controller, he is supreme, he can manifest, I am God, don't treat me like this, don't ask me to pick the shoes from there or whatever the mother is telling. I am a big person, don't think like this. Any Aishwarya, what is there? So nacha Mahamaheshwarasya tasyevam partantram dushnam iti vachyam pratyut bhushnam eva. And then it says that this type of subservience of Mahamaheshwara, the Supreme Ishvara, is not a flaw in him, but it is rather an ornament. Yatha jivasya maya partantram dukkhaya dukkharthakam tatheva ishvarasya ananda ras mayasyapi prem partantram. So just as in the material world, to be under someone's authority is problematic. That's why everybody wants to be the boss here. Nobody wants to be servant here. Everybody wants to supersede. You go anywhere, everybody is trying for a promotion. Right? And promotion is not just because your salary will be more, but also you don't want to be under someone. But here in case of love, it is different. Being under someone's control, authority, or out of love is ananda. So tathaiva ishvarasya ananda rasmayam syapi prem partantram. So although he is Ishvara and although he himself is Ananda, yet he likes to be under the control because this gives him more bliss. So pratikshana vardhamana niratishaya anandarthakam evaiti mahanubhaver anubhutam. So this subservience or coming under the control is most blissful. He enjoys this, he loves it so much that he never wants to come out of it. And this ananda is all the time increasing. So pratikshana vardhamana and niratishaya, it is supreme ananda, there is nothing higher than this, and that is also goes on increasing. So he says that is the relationship which Krishna is having, and he is enjoying it, and this is the experience of great devotees, Mahanubhave Anubhuta.
Maharaj, why does he say here Nacha Mahamaheshwarasya Tasyeva Paratantrem Dushanam iti Vachyam Pratyut Bhushanam eva? Why is he saying that someone's if
you are the boss of your company and you have a guard at the gate and the guard asks you to bring a cup of water for him, you will do that?
Okay. Nacha Mahamaheshwarasya Tasya means his devotees who are, the Brajvasis.
Krishna Baba. थोड़ा अन्वय देखो उसका सेंटेंस.
Nacha Mahamaheshwarasya Tasya eva.
व्रजोक्षाम स्वतोकेषु स्नेहवल्याब्धमन्वहं स्नैर्निश्रीम ववृधे यथा कृष्णे त्वपूर्ववत्. So he says that in this way, Vrajoksham Svatokeshu Snehavallyabdam Anuham Sanair Ashima Vabridhe. So he says that now the residents of Vraja, their love in their own children was increasing regularly for 1 year, day by day. Abdam Anuham, every day they get up and they have more love for their children. Next day you get up, they have more love. Generally when children are growing up, the love diminishes. And here, every day it is going up. So like a valli, like a creeper. If you have a creeper, then every day it is growing. Right? You keep on pouring water on it, unless if you don't give water, of course, that's a different story. Otherwise the creeper is growing 24 hours a day. So like that their prema was increasing for their own children, day by day, day by day. So Sanair Nishima Bavride, without any boundary. Yatha Krishna Etva Purvat, just as it was increasing in Krishna. Like that it was increasing in their own children also. So this is amazing thing. So Tadevam Yashodanandana Krishna and Krishnayoh Sarupta Ekarupyatat Snehadhikyam Tulyam Uktamapi Punah Spashti Karvan Yashodanandana Krishna tu Gunotkars Hetukam Snehadhikyamaha Vrajokshāmiti. So he says that in Yashodanandan, that is Krishna, and Krishna, who is their own son. So Swarupta Ekrupyat. So in Swarupa they are one. The children is also Krishna. Only externally they are appearing differently. So Swarupta Ekrupyat Snehadhikyam Tulya Muktam. So in the previous verse it was said that their sneha, their affection now was equal. The parents had the same love for their own children as for Krishna. But now he says that it is same does not mean it was stagnant. That was also increasing every day, like a compound interest. Goes on increasing even when you sleep. So Punah Spashti Kuruvan Yashodanandan Krishna tu Gunotkarsha Hetukam Snehadhikkamaha Rajokshāmiti. So therefore this sneha in Yashodanandan Krishna, it was before more, but now it is same and it is increasing. Abdam Varsham Vyapya Anuham Snehevalliti. So for 1 year it continued to increase like that. Just like as if it was a creeper of affection. Valli yatha pratidinam eva vardhate tathaiva ityartha. Just like a creeper is growing every day, like that the sneha, the affection, the love was increasing. Yatha Krishna Yashodanandane purvam saputrebhyopi vardhamana sa asit idanim swatokeshvapi tathaiva vridhaiti swatoka namapi krishnatvat sneha ardhirubhyatra tulya eva ityartha. So just as previously their love for Krishna was increasing every day, now it was also increasing for their own children. So there was no inequality. It was increasing in Krishna and also in their own son every day. So it was equal. So previous sloka said it was equal, and now it's saying that it was equal and now it is increasing, but is also equal while increasing. So both simultaneously. So therefore it says Idanim Swatokeshu api tathaiva vridhaiti Swatoka namapi krishnatvat. Why? Because their children are also now Krishna only. Snehardhir ubhyatra tulya eva. Therefore the increase in affection was also equal. So it remains like that. Kincha tu shabdabalat Krishna etyasya avritya Sneharde stulyatvepi Krishna Yashodanandane tu tathapi apurvat Nitya Navayamana eva tasya sarvashakti saundarya vedagdhadi gunvatvat Ansi. What is that?
Anshitvat.
Okay, there is something missing. Ansitvat. Tva is not there. Ansitvat chet Tasham putribhut Krishna Swarupanam tu Sridamadi Uchita Saundaryadi Matvad Ansatvat cheti bhava. So now, although he says that it was increasing and it was equal, but he brings a little more point that still the love in Krishna was something different than in their own children. And the reason is that Krishna is Krishna, Krishna's form, appearance is different than. So now he brings the distinction also. Although it was said that it was same and increasing same, but the sloka says Krishnastu apurvavat. Still the affection, love in Krishna was something extraordinary, different. And the reason is because of now the influence of the appearance comes, which you are asking about two-handed form and four-handed form. So therefore it says tathapi apurvat. So he says that tu shabd balat, by the word tu, Krishna tu apurvat. So tu signifies that there is some difference than what is being said in the rest of the sloka. So apurvat balat Krishna iti asya avritya. So vavridhe yatha Krishna, and then you have to make another sentence, Krishna tu apurvavat. So the word Krishna has to be applied both sides, in the left side of the word tu and also to the right side of the tu. So snehardha tulyatve api. So although increase in affection was same in both in Krishna and the children, still he says Krishna Yashoda Nandane tu tathapi apurvat. But still Krishna, who is Yashoda Nandan, it was something extraordinary than Krishna, who was their son. So still some distinction is there. Nitya Navaya Mana Eva Tasya. It was every day, Nitya, regularly, fresh and fresh. Why is that? Sarva Shakti Saundarya Vedagdyadi Gunvatvat Anshitvacha. Because Krishna is most beautiful, most wonderful, has a supreme qualities in him, and he is the Amshi. He is the whole from whom others have manifest. Although they are also Krishna's expansion, they are also Krishna, he himself, but still Krishna is Krishna. So this is again Achintya Bheda Bheda at that level also. But still there is Bheda, although there is a Bheda, some distinction is there. So there he is the Amsi, the whole, and they are the Amshas, the parts. So that's what it says. Gunvatvad Anshitvad cha tasam putri bhuta Krishna swarupanam tu Shri Damadi uchit saundaryadi matvad anshatvad cha. Because you have to understand that when Krishna is there and he has his friends, Sridham, Sudam, all these things. So obviously Sridham, Sudam, their beauty, their characteristics, their qualities are not equal to Krishna. Some difference is there. They are not 100% same. Although it says Atmatulya Balai, that they are having similar qualities equal to him. Although equal, still there is inequality among the equals. So he is the source and they are the expansions. He is the Amshi, they are the Amsas. So just as there is a distinction between Krishna and his friends, so that distinction is also there now when Krishna becomes the friends. So their beauty, their qualities, their character is not exactly as the Yashodanandan Krishna. Although he is now manifest, Krishna himself is manifest as Sri Dama, etc. So this is another very important point to be understood. So that means when Krishna is Krishna, that is absolutely unequal to anyone else, even Balram, the first expansion.
So this is the answer to the question we were asking, right? That it should be more for the form of Krishna.
Yes. So some distinction is there.
So Maharaj, what does this word snehard mean? Snehardes?
More sneha.
I'm wondering, is there any account what happened when the original boys came back to their mothers? Because one would assume that they're not diminished, which would be a little bit awkward.
Yes, it will be less now. But it has to happen.
Compoundingness as well.
Love's market also goes down.
Well, their love for Krishna remained, but in their own children it diminished.
How were they able to mentally adjust? It's very difficult. I mean, if you think the condition of the mother, on one day it's increased and suddenly the next day.
No, in children it happens. It's natural. When they grow, the love goes down.
I mean, on one side, we are saying that the love is constantly increasing day by day. It's the Krishna's form, and suddenly one day their original children they come.
It's so much of love that does not. It is not noticed like that. It is a niratisha. It is already said.
But can I return to my question?
Yeah.
So, still trying to understand, when these mothers see Krishna as Subal, and they love Subal now, they are loving Subal as much as they love Krishna, a little bit less, but still as more than their own bodies. So, who is it that they are loving?
They are loving
Because-
Krishna in the form of their son.
Okay, but I'm just wondering what that means. In the sense that their original
Well, they are not.
Subal
They are not.
and everybody.
No, they are not aware of it. They are not thinking that this is Krishna. It is natural. That's what is the point I is being when I am saying that Vastu Shakti Jnanam na pekshate. So that when Vastu Shakti, although we say that if you drink poison unknowingly you will still die, right? Or if you drink nectar unknowingly it will have its effect. But we also know that there is something, effect is more when you are aware of something.
I understand this point about Vastu Shakti. What I'm trying to do is define what Vastu is.
That Vastu is Krishna, now Subal is Krishna. So therefore their love is, although they are thinking this is my son, but it happens to be Krishna. So therefore it is more. That is the Vastu
The
Shakti.
question is, how should we define Krishna? Is what I'm trying to get at. Because Krishna is Vishishta, right? He's qualified Brahman. I don't know how to put this, but his form is part of it. His rupa is not distinguished or different from it. So now this is somebody, this Krishna, because Krishna also explained this is the original sons, Subala and Balaram and all these, they are also Krishna, we say. But they are expansions, they are Amsharas. And these mothers are also expansions of Krishna, and they are loving these expansions. So there is a difference between the original expansions of Subal and this Krishna this expansion of Subal who is Krishna himself. And what I'm trying to understand is what is the difference between these two? In terms of Vastu or in terms of Vishesha or Vishesha and Visheshana, or what is that difference?
So the difference is very subtle. When he is Subal and Sridama as friends, then those people are never Krishna. Means they were not Krishna to begin with. They are eternally with that name, with that identity, with everything like that. Now it is Krishna who is taking that. Although we say they are expansions. Expansions when? That is just a way to understand that these are all expansions of Krishna. That is basically to make us understand that it is only one absolute reality and they are not independent. But it is not just like we say it is Krishna who becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand who is Radha. When did he become? So means once upon a time there was no Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? If you say like this, then logically it means once upon a time there was no Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because when Krishna came and he did not understand how Radha is love, why she loves me so much, and what pleasure she is deriving, and what is my own beauty. So then he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? These are the three reasons to understand. So that means before that there was no Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But that's not true. That is only to analyze this for our understanding and taking the last appearance and not going beyond that. So similarly when we say that Krishna's first expansion is Balaram, so when did he expand? Means once upon a time there was only Krishna and there was no Balaram. then he expanded. So it's not like that. So what is being described here, ultimately these stories are to make us understand Tattva. So what is being described here is that there is Sridham, Sudam, his friends, and then Krishna takes that form. So what is being described, that this, again the point of Vastu Shakti is being depicted. Means the prema which one has for Krishna, even unknowingly that he is Krishna, is superior than prema for their own children. The point which is being made here is the same, the statement of the Upanishad, Nava Are Patyu Kamaya Patu Priya Bhavati Apritu Atmane Kamaya. So what is being described is that Krishna prema is superior than any other prema. That is what is being depicted here in this story. And that is what the intention of the commentators is, to explain that. But now if we have to analyze what is the difference between Subal before and Krishna who became Subal. So it's difficult to state it. All I can say is that now this Subal is Krishna himself, person Krishna, with little bit of diminished power. And that Subal was never Krishna. He is eternal associate who has that ego, that characteristics. So therefore their prema is more on this Subal than the original Subal.
So can we, Maharaj, understand?
Bhaji, my question is just about this connection that you was doing with this part of Upanishad and this other invocation of Sri Upanishad about Om Purnam Adam Purnam, which is explaining at the same time this event. We can connect this like that, like Krishna is one, and even if he expand himself, his form, his qualities keep like supreme over all of these different expansions, and the connection with the prema that they feel are also to this verse of the Upanishad that you are citing.
No, those are two different things.
Yeah, there are two different things, but one explain about his nature and the other explain about the love that others.
Yeah, so what is the link? That's what I'm saying.
And the link is this particular lila is linked to these both. To these both statements of the Upanishad. Like one is Krishna, who can expand in different ways, but at the same time he is still supreme, and the other is the love that the associates feel for him is supreme from all the other type of.
Yeah, if you want to explain it like that.
So, Maharaj, the difference between the original Sakhas and now the Krishna who's become Sakhas is, can we understand it this way, that the original Sakhas are the Jiva Shaktis who are eternally under the Swarup Shakti?
No, they are not Jiva Shakti.
But they are not the Tatastha Shaktis who are eternally under?
No, they are not Tatastha Shakti. Where did you read that they are Tatastha Shakti?
Moksha Paryanta Jiva. Srila Jiva Goswami writes in the Paramatma Sandarbha that the Moksha Paryanta, it remains Jiva only. So even we studied in the Paramatma, those
are... but these are not Moksha Paryanta, they are eternal associates. What do you mean Moksha Paryanta? There is Antaranga Shakti.
Maharaji, so the Siddhanta we understood was that love for Krishna is always the highest, which is what we compared with the Upanishads. And then the next part to that is, even within that, the love for Krishna as, in his Swarup, in his original form, is a little always different, even though the love for Krishna is there. The second part of what you explained was that in his actual form of, Nandalal, the love for that is unique and different than even with Krishna any other expansion.
Yeah, it has to be. Otherwise, everybody will become worshipable. Otherwise, all other forms will become same. This is the conflict we have with other sampradayas. That's the difficulty with these chapters.
So that's
Because
what
they
is
are
the
unable
core
to
essence.
understand that Krishna is not just Narayana or Vishnu.
Is that the core essence of what we are studying here? That this form of Krishna is
Yeah,
the
the
most
core
lovable.
essence is this only, that Krishna Prema is supreme and there is nothing equal to it. And it is so supreme that even Krishna is controlled by it. And this you will not find anywhere that they will say that, they will say Narayana is supreme, Vishnu is supreme. They are not going to say that Prema is above him. But this is what is being described here.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So that's why Mahaprabhu said Prema is the fifth Prayojana. In other Vaishnava Sampradaya also, the moksha is the fourth Prayojana, that is the highest. Bhakti is also moksha for them. But this is separate being described. They talk about bhakti, but what is the purpose is moksha, they will say. Although their moksha is not Sahaja Mukti, going to Vaikuntha, but their goal is moksha. In Bhāgavatam is something saying dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmat saranam samam. It's going beyond moksha. So that's why this is important. These chapters are very important. These are the chapters which bring out this point clearly, if they are understood.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, so Nitya, the two types of jivas which we discussed, one is Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. So the Nitya Mukta jivas come under Sarup Shakti. They are expansion of Sarup Shakti, not Tatastha.
These are not Jiva, Baba. There is a Antaranga Shakti, there is a Bahiranga Shakti, and there is a Tatastha Shakti. And in Tatastha Shakti, there are Nitya Baddha Jivas and Nitya Mukta Jivas. These Nitya Mukta Jivas are not Antaranga Shakti. So this Subal, Siddhama, all they are not Jivas, they are not Nitya Mukta Jivas. They are not Nitya Mukta Jivas. They are Nitya Mukta Parikaras. Don't confuse them.
So they are part of Antaranga Shakti, that's what you mean to say.
Yes.
And what would be the example of Nitya Mukta Jivas like Shukdev and all?
Nitya Mukta Jiva like Garuda is. Jiva Goswami gives the example.
But they are also more or less part of Parikar only of Narayana.
Just listen to Shastra. You cannot argue in these things. You cannot say more or less. Otherwise, how do you know this? Jiva Goswami is saying that Garuda is a Tatastha Shakti. He also gives Vishwaksena. So there is difference. We cannot now apply logic to that. This is coming from Shastra. Yes.
My question is that, like, from this Leela, like, what should we understand in the sense from a sadhaka point of view, that because this love between Krishna and the mothers and Krishna becoming the sons, this is with the parikramas. So can we understand from this that for a sadhaka, when he keeps his seva bhav increases, so the same kind of feeling he or she will also get when the seva bhav increases?
What kind of feeling?
In the sense, this love increasing, and even that Vastu Shakti example you gave, that the Vastu Shakti will have effect even though Krishna may not be present as such, but I'm just trying to understand, like, how is it applicable for a person like me? How do I understand and how do I increase my sadhana with this Leela?
So therefore I am again telling you that please state your question very clearly. So your question is that what is practical application of this story? Just say this much. That's what you are saying. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you are saying anything else?
Sorry.
Yes?
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, so again I am telling you that learn to formulate your question clearly. So your question is that what is the takeaway from this story, basically, for me as a sadhana, right? Simple. Don't go away same way, increasing sadhana, increasing prema. Because you say that what is practical application for me in my life for this. So that is up to you what you want to take. It is describing the importance, the glory of Krishna prema. There can be so many different understanding. If you understand this, then you become more devoted, you become more attracted to it, you lose interest in other material things. Wow, this is Krishna prema, and it's so powerful that it controls even Krishna, who is the supreme controller. What am I trying to do? Everybody is trying to attain some power in this material world, right? Everybody is trying to attain some power in this material world. Whether that power is of knowledge, whether it is physical power, it is power of money, it is power of position. Everybody is wanting power, or of people, the followers, possessions. Ultimately, everybody wants Shakti. And here he is the most Shaktiman, and he is under the control of Prema. So then we should not run after that Shakti, we should run after this Prema which controls. This is the biggest Shakti. I mean, if you want power, this is the power. Right? And this power is pleasurable, blissful, and harmless. All other powers give trouble. They make you proud. People become jealous of you, or you become competitor of some others. You have fear of losing that, right? So all other things. But this is one we should get. Should strive for this. So this is how, hearing this Bhagavatam, your heart gets purified. If you understand. This is the meaning of Chetodarpan Marjanam.
Thank you, Babaji, and also for guiding to formulate the questions.
Yes. This I am specifically telling to you because you are always going round. So before you ask question, formulate it. It's very important. Even in your life, it will be good. If you go for some interview or you meet somebody, people will be impressed with you. That you speak clearly and don't beat around the bush. This makes your mind adapted to clear thinking, which is important. Any other question?
So is it also now it's
Clear
I have a
thinking.
big pressure.
Clear thinking.
So from material point of view, we could think that I want this prema to control God. That I could think like that. And I wonder if...
And then what will you do?
Yeah.
What will you achieve?
Yeah, I would...
This prema is controlling God, it will not control you?
Yeah.
So? It is a catch-22. You think you are going to control God by this prema, before that you will be controlled by it. If this prema is so powerful that it controls God, you think it won't control you? But it's a good trick if you think like this and you want to do bhakti this way. You will get nicely tricked. And then by that time it will be too late.
So that's the other side. Krishna is showing in this story that it's more pleasurable to be controlled in love than to
Yes,
have
people
this
are very much
desire.
scared of being controlled. That's why they don't want to surrender. They have fear of surrender. Because we have bad experience in the material world. And here it is being described that this is the highest relish, surrendering to Krishna. So that's why it says Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Because he is speaking from his own experience. It's not that people think that Krishna is some supreme controller and he's a this is a misconception which is floated, by saying Krishna is supreme enjoyer. Krishna is supreme enjoyer. And then you don't explain it what it means. So people think that since he is supreme enjoyer and we are the supreme enjoyer, means we have to just be his servant and he is sitting on some big throne. No, he is supreme enjoyer by being servant. That's what has to be understood. So if he is enjoying by being servant, what is our problem? But when you think he is the supreme enjoyer, right? You must have heard this statement many times. He is supreme enjoyer. And in our idea, we think supreme enjoyer means he is like going here and there, taking flights, going to some resort, and we poor people have to work hard. No, he is tending cows every day. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He is doing seva. He is very happy by doing that. So enjoyment is in doing surrendering and doing seva. That is the point. That's why this bhakti is difficult to understand. Or people get scared of it. Either they get scared. Oh my God! I want to be Brahman, and you are asking me to become servant. So then they don't want it. Or if they come to bhakti, then they don't understand it. So bhakti means being what you are, simple. And not making a show of being something else which you are not. You will never be controller, that is one thing, but you can be a servant. You are already. So why not accept it? We are working so hard to go away from our own constitutional position, which is so easy. And there is no obstacle to that. Nobody is going to tell you if you want to do service, why you want to do service. But if you want to control other, you will have 10 people fighting with you. Don't tell me like this. Who the hell are you? Don't you know who I am? I will see you. But if you want to do service, what is the problem? And servant we are. Das bhuto hare reva, nanyastu kadachit. Makarena uchita jiva. We are talking about Om. This is from Padma Purana also. This comes right after that. Das bhuto hare reva. Jiva is dasa. That is the ma part in Om. Makarena uchita jiva. Yeah, but we don't want to accept it. Jeev Krishna Das Ai Vishwas Karle Tor Dukha Nai. Right? So Jeev is Krishna Das, and if you can have this Vishwas, then there is no problem. Simple. But it's very hard to swallow, although we write Das in front of our name, but we think we are Swami. So this is the most pleasurable thing, to be Das. Because this Mahamaheshwar himself is trying to be that. Otherwise, why did he become the son? And come under the control of all these women? Because he is enjoying, he is relishing that. Okay.
Why does he do that?
Okay. Hari Bol.